everybody, I'm Dr. Angel Storm. I'm the founder of Ashes to Beauty Ministries. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am answering a question that is, how long does it take to recover from PTSD from a narcissist? So I actually have a video that kind of talks about overall recovery, or how long does it take to get over a narcissist. But I wanted to address the issue of PTSD. This is a really important topic. PTSD is common for people who have suffered any type of trauma or abuse. Like if it's only verbal, emotional, financial, whatever, like there wasn't physical abuse. This is also obviously super common for veterans to face. And if you've been watching this channel, you know that I'm a veteran. I have a real heart for vets and seeing them healed and whole. So keep watching until the end, because I want to pray over you at the end. This question is, there really isn't a set time, and which I've explained in the other video that I was just mentioning about how long does it take for me to recover, right? It really depends upon you, upon how willing you are to partner with either a program to help you recover, how much internal work you're actually willing to do. And this includes not trying to stuff these feelings or trying to escape from the feelings. So it's also very common for people who suffer from PTSD to try to hide from the experience. Like it's too traumatic for them to address the actual root causes of their stress, and so they stuff or escape. So either they turn to like some type of addiction, drugs, alcohol, pornography, or even working or cleaning or some other method used to escape, where they stuff, right? They just start shutting down, they start closing off relationships. It's very common that you just stop doing the stuff that used to interest you. You stop hanging out with the people that used to bring you joy or make you feel fulfilled, even to the point of like missing work and other issues. So this is quite disruptive for somebody's day-to-day life, right? Not to mention the things that can be happening in the home, like the kids might be irritating you, your spouse could be irritating you, or maybe you're at home with your parents or a friend, or maybe you've gone somewhere else to try to recover or heal, but everything just seems to be irritating you. So first of all, you need to be willing to address the cause of those things, right? You have to actually be willing to face the trauma that you've gone through to get to the root of the issue. The effects of that are the things that you're feeling, the way that you want to escape, the annoyances that seem to happen through people that you once loved to spend time with, now they're just irritating, or places that you used to love going, now you just don't want to do that. Those are all side effects of this root traumatic experience or time in your life that you went through, and it's really important that you address it if you want to move forward. So number one, it will depend upon you. If you're ready to get free from that, if you want to be healed from that, if you're ready to partner and do the work necessary to do that. So you can go down the, I will say, traditional route of therapy. And again, that depends on the therapist. It depends on the method of therapy that they're using. It depends on your willingness to put in the work and do the exercises and things like that that they will give you. You can also do, I will say, non-traditional methods of therapy. So if you hire a coach, there's different medicinal to experience those things without the same side effects. Availability of those types of therapies are going to vary by state. You can find somebody who can really speak to the situation that you've experienced and kind of walk in their path in terms of how they healed by following the same method that they did, and that might help as well. There's a shortcut, and I want to talk to you really primarily about that shortcut. And one of the things that I really believe in is speaking straight to the wound that was caused into your soul. Your soul is your mind, your will, and your emotions, right? And wherever you were wounded emotionally, wherever you were wounded mentally, wherever you felt that your sovereignty as a human was overridden, so you weren't able to make your own choices, you didn't feel as though your opinions were respected. All of those places, those can cause wounds in your soul, and this can start to fester like a wound that you don't take care of on your body, right? You can see it start to get infected, it can start to spread, it can start to cause more and more serious issues the longer that you let it go and you don't actually speak to it. By the time this video has been out, you should also be able to go to my declarations playlist and find one called Soaking in the Light. I really recommend Soaking in the Light. I really recommend you play that playlist over this soul wound specifically. But the wound of everything that you've experienced with the narcissist, every time that you were called a name, every time that you were talked over, every time that you were ignored, every time that you were gaslighted, every time that your opinions didn't matter, every time that you were forced to put on a face, you know, and keep up the facade because you were more afraid of what would happen when you got home and if you didn't do those things, right? Every time that you were too afraid to use your voice to speak up about what was happening, every time you did try to speak up about what was happening but nobody listened to you, I want you to think about all of those wounds when you're soaking in the light, and imagine just light blasting away those dark places out of your soul. I'm going to pray for you at the end, like I said, but one of the things that is really important is that you identify those spaces where you felt most ignored, disrespected, or minimized, and you really start to focus on building those things up. Over time, this is what's going to prevent you from not only getting, you know, spending time and investing time with a narcissist again, but also to just make sure that you're staying on your path that you're supposed to be on in life, right? That you don't get sidetracked off into some other thing that isn't your purpose or isn't your calling. So what I mean by that is every time that if you felt like, you know, you couldn't go to somebody for help, or you try to go to somebody for help but they weren't a safe person, or they didn't do anything, or nobody was there to defend you, it's really important that you take a look at that and figure out how do we grow in discernment? How do I know who's a safe person? How do I know who to go to? You know, and that will, of course, also entail setting up boundaries, and how do I determine what those are, and things like that. And you can kind of grow from each one of those areas. When it comes to having the narcissist in your life in the first place, take a look at that. Were you taught certain beliefs as a child that you need to get rid of those lies and you need to replace them with truth? Is there something false about yourself that you're believing? Do you believe that you only deserve to be treated that way? We can easily say no, but truth be told, if we were to actually explore that answer a little bit more, there's probably something in us that is telling us, like, you know what, you do deserve to be lied to because you've lied to people, or, you know, there can be a million false beliefs that are hiding under there. So really seek those out, because you need to replace them with truth. You need to start walking in truth. You need to start living out truth. So by identifying the lies and replacing them, that's how you keep your freedom. Okay, I just want to make sure that that is clear. We can easily get healed from something, but if we didn't learn the lesson, we face the same test again. You know, if I am driving and I don't wear a seatbelt and I get in a car crash and I am injured severely because I didn't wear a seatbelt, hopefully I've learned the lesson. I need to wear a seatbelt when I'm driving the car, right? But if I don't, I'm setting myself up to repeat the same mistake and have the same outcome happen. And unfortunately, that is something that happens a lot. People think, okay, I've gotten a certain level of healing, I feel good, I'm ready to get back into a relationship, and they find themselves dating another narcissist, or they partnered, you know, in business with another narcissist. And the reason that they keep doing that is because they might have gotten healed some level of healing, but they didn't learn the lesson. They didn't actually fully embrace the reason why they ended up in that situation in the first place. They didn't identify any false beliefs about that situation. They didn't take the time to root those things up and to replace them with truth, to start living that and walking in it fully. They just decided that they were done doing the inner work, and so they put themselves back into the same situation, unfortunately, to more often than not end up with the same outcome or worse than the last time. So please, when you know you have PTSD, especially around a narcissist, like goodness, I've seen people who can't stand hearing the sound of a man's voice or having a man within like 3 or 4 feet of them. When it's that bad, you really, really, really need to get a hold of what is happening. You really need to start doing the inner work, because that's only going to grow, and it's only going to continue to isolate you more and more and more about where you're willing to go and who you're willing to talk to, who's going to be your friends, and all that kind of stuff. You're really isolating yourself. You think you're protecting yourself, but you're just building this cave for yourself that no one can enter into, and that's no type of life to have. So please take a look at the triggers for what sets you into these reactions that come along with having PTSD, and start getting to the root of those things. Like, why is it that you feel that way? Why is it that you react that way? And start replacing them with truths. Start setting up boundaries so that you can walk into those situations and know that you have the skills to handle the situation. If somebody says something to you that reminds you of the narcissist, or if somebody looks at you or treats you a certain type of way that reminds you of the narcissist, how can you handle that situation appropriately? Because the more that you do that, the more authority that you gain over your a life. You want to be autonomous. You want to be able to live how you want to live, not to have situations dictate to you where you can go and who you can talk to, and all that kind of stuff. That's nonsense. Like, you determine your own life. Really quickly, I do want to say a prayer for you. I believe that there is a lot of freedom, at the very least, the space that you need to start doing this inner work, start really evaluating the beliefs that you have, the lifestyle that you want to have, the boundaries that you currently have, and the things that you need to have, the level of discernment that you have now, where you need to be with that. You can really start to evaluate all of these things when you have some space, you have some breathing room, to be able to do that in a clear frame of mind, not out of fear, not out of anxiety, but truly just being able to analyze the fullness of what you're facing, and really be able to see truth for truth, and like how things truly are, not how you wish them to be. Sometimes when we're so traumatized, we think it's everybody else. We think that we have no power or authority, but that's so far from the truth. And we'll never be able to move forward if we don't recognize how much power we actually have, okay? So let me pray for you. I want to say this prayer over you. If you have time after you're done listening to this prayer, please go and check out my Soaking in the Light. Soak in it once or twice and really start to see truth while you're doing that. Take a real look at the beliefs that you have and all of the other things that I've mentioned, and think about where you want to be, and start allowing that light to go into these places where you have been wounded the deepest, okay? So Father, right now in the name of Jesus, I thank you for the ability to come boldly before your throne. And by the name of Jesus, I just cast out any spirit of trauma and any associated spirit that has come in through that spirit of trauma as well. We lay everything at your altar, Jesus. We put our cares, our desires, our anxieties on this altar right now. I break off any word curses that were spoken over anybody watching this video, that you'll never heal, that you'll never get better, that you'll never do this or that. We cancel those words right now in the name of Jesus. Likewise, any words that I'll always be alone, I'll always have to do everything on my own, I'll always be the only person I can trust, I cancel out those inner vows, any other type of word curses, generational curses, which are deep soul wounds that have happened many generations ago. I ask that you would send your light there, Jesus, to heal, to cauterize those wounds. I command every body who is listening to this, everybody to come into complete balance in your hormones. I command those balance to even out to the exact design God has for you in the name of Jesus. I command every electrical and magnetic frequency to come into complete balance and harmony in the name of Jesus. I speak peace to every single cell within this person's body. I tell those cells, every cell within every organ, every bone, every blood cell, every skin cell, to reject all form of trauma. Start pushing that out right now in the name of Jesus. I speak peace in its place. I speak peace over every single cell of your body. I speak peace to every place in your mind, in your will, in your emotions, in your total soul, in your spirit. I speak hope and fullness of joy over you. That is your portion. That is your identity. And may you walk in that freedom in the name of Jesus. You guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel below. Turn on the little bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video to this channel. And go soak in the light.